Today I would like to talk about Blab and other production troubleshooting and tips. I've got a list here I want to share with you. This is a shout out to my intern Mary because she's going to help me produce, and we had to do some troubleshooting yesterday to get ready for our first show. And we chose to use Blab for our platform for this particular show. But just so you know, this could be used for many other things, just things you want to do for production. It doesn't have to be for a show, even just creating content online. One of the most important things is to be hardwired with an Ethernet cable. I'm using my PC to make this. I'm not doing this on Hangouts or other platforms at the moment, so I don't have to be plugged in so I could show you this, but it is so important. If you don't have hardwire, then Wi-Fi, getting the best possible signal you can get. And what else was I going to share with you about the Wi-Fi? Okay, so for example, you might have to move your location if there's a lot of noise around you. I was at a hangout recently, and the host unfortunately was in McDonald's. It wasn't intended, but he couldn't get to his own hangout in time in a quieter location, and it was really hard to really listen to what he had to say. Turn notifications off. That's another thing. Cut me off right there in the middle of my thought, didn't it? So turn notifications off, turn your phone off. Also turn off things that will rob your, I'm not saying this correctly maybe because I'm not really familiar with terms, but maybe your bandwidth. So for example, if you have programs that refresh all the time, like Word, you want to turn off your Outlook and Google, Gmail, things that are always refreshing, if possible. If you have to have something running for what you're doing, that's a little different. But turn off notifications, that was very timely. We had to troubleshoot using a tablet versus a laptop or PC. And what I mean by that is we couldn't get her PC working. She had a laptop actually, and the hardwiring it, she still had trouble with her mic and her camera. So we decided to use the tablet. Well, that brought a whole new set of troubleshooting issues. So again, she had to change her Wi-Fi signal 3 times. She had to move locations until she could get a better signal and change that signal. So she had to learn how to go into settings and do all that. And you as the host have to tell her how to do that and walk her through that. I had to pick up the phone and talk to her, so that's okay. You can do that too. And also, I didn't realize, but while we were on the Blab, we did a Blab to learn how to troubleshoot, and people jumped on and helped us. And somebody said, because I wanted her to see where you can tweet out or share on Facebook that we're at this event right now and invite people in. And it turns out there's those 3 lines, a little menu in there she had to go to select these things. So she did a great job. She had to reboot her whole computer at one point just to see if we could fix the glitches. That might be something you have to ask your guest to do, or you may have to do. Refreshing the page. Sometimes you could be in a Blab. You might have to refresh. What else? Engagement. She did very good at this, Mary. You're so good at this. What I asked her to do is when people come into the room to welcome them. And it's really important that you use their handle, so the @ sign and their username, and spell it correctly so that they actually get to see it. It'll stand out more to them that you're speaking to them. Also, where are you from? Get them engaging, get them talking, get everybody engaging. I mean, we're there to engage, right? We're not there just to be talking heads like I am right now. Also, in Blab, to use the /Q if you're going to put a question in the comments, because that gets transferred to the other side, that you can select that to show up in one of the seats on Blab, and then once it's answered, you can hit answered and exit out of there. So there's 4 seats that you can have people in, you can have questions in. I'm not sure about putting images in. I hear it is maybe coming. What else? Oh yeah, asking questions or input. So when we were stuck on how do you tweet out from a tablet, somebody actually jumped in and helped us figure that out. So ask the audience to help you. And this, again, this is on this topic, but it could be any topic you're talking on. This is just a wonderful platform for engagement. You can have people come into the seat. So if they ask you, can I come in and join you? Or maybe you want someone to come on in here and join me. I don't want to be sitting here all by myself talking. Just know that, be careful, because there's a term they use, trolls. Somebody could be up to no good. So be ready to have your mouse, your cursor on the little X that comes in. So if they come in, and I've heard that people could have pornographic images or something like that that you don't want on there, so just exit out. But even more than that, you can go and click on their handle name, and a square will come up, and in the top right hand corner you'll see a little triangle that has an exclamation point in that. You can report this person eventually. If Blab gets enough poor reports on this person, their IP address will be kicked right out of Blab. So they just beware that there are people that could also want to come in and disrupt your platform. They could just be argumentative, foul, or even just rambling on just to distract everything and just cause trouble. So you can get rid of them. So you're in control as the host and the co-host. That's another thing. You can make, like I did with Mary, I made her my co-host. Now, what I found interesting is when I do my show, what I learned is I'm going to actually have Mary be the host and I'll be the co-host, because then Mary will control taking that question and putting it into the seat so I can answer it, and then marking it as answered and getting it out of there and putting the next one in. So I can concentrate on answering the questions. And you can also put in your web address or different links, and you can put it there so people can click on it and open up another tab and go there later. Tell them to stick with you. So let's see if I missed anything. Okay, I think I covered it. Next time, we're going to cover a little bit more like the format of a the format of the show that you want to do. So what kind of content do you want to do? What kind of show do you want to do? So we're going to go over the format, the equipment that you might need, how to prepare your guest if you're going to have one. This can also work if you're going to be the host, if you don't know how to be prepared. We're also going to learn a little more, and this is where if you want to put any comments in there for resources, or if you would like to be included in one of our blabs as we're learning, it is linked to Twitter. So we don't know Twitter, so we want to know all about how do you do a good tweet to get the word out there that you're having that you're going to have a blab, and invite them. And how do they get the replay? How can you send the link and have it available to others? Because you do get a link after it's recorded and you kill the blab. You stop. Once it's stopped, you get emailed to you both the video and the audio that you can then repurpose and put it on your YouTube channel, your website, it's just endless. Same with the audio, your podcast. We are going to cover a lot more next time. Thank you for watching, and I hope it was helpful.